Oh, for the whole year.
For the whole year while we were there.
Grief.
Which was insane. We were supposed to play our practice round on a Saturday, and we got an email probably 12 or 15 hours before the tournament saying, oh, by the way, we're not playing a practice round. We're going to play 36 holes of match play tomorrow. So we had to kind of hop back and pivot and get ready to play a golf tournament without a practice round.
Good grief.
The craziest thing I've ever.
Have you ever had that happen before? You lose a practice round?
I was telling somebody a minute ago, I was like, imagine if they went to Scott Drew and said, hey, we're going to play Friday. They just tell them like 10 hours before, we're going to play Friday instead of Saturday.
That would not fly very well.
Yeah, it was strange, but I understood what they were doing. We obviously play golf outside, and we're trying to get the rounds in, so they dropped back and changed the format, and we did actually get 54 holes of golf in.
Wow.
But then again, it rained like crazy.
Wow.
I mean, it was unbelievable.
So you get in on what day? A Friday, I guess?
We get in on a Friday, supposed to play our practice round on
Saturday, okay.
And that ended up being the 36-hole day, which we played a match against UCLA, who's the fourth-ranked team in the country.
Oh, yeah.
And then our second match in the afternoon was against Pepperdine, who's ranked 20th in the country.
Good grief.
So we had, really tough opponents who were actually playing on their home turf, kind of home field advantage, and I think we played really well. Again, just half my team didn't know the golf course, so Carly and I are walking with the half that hadn't seen it before. But it was still a good experience, and I love being out there. I mean, I think going to this golf course in California where they play an LPGA Tour event, it's a cool place for not only us to see, but for our team who has dreams of playing professional golf someday. They can actually play a golf tournament on an LPGA Tour course, which is neat.
So the name of this event is it the Therese Hession?
Therese Hession.
Hession, I'm sorry.
Yeah, regional challenge presented by Northrop Grumman. Say that six times fast.
No, you did it. That's
okay.
fine. We won't try it again. But that's so that was the tournament. And what is the difference for your team with a practice round? You get to walk the course, you get to know it.
Sure.
I mean, that's just a normal routine that you didn't have.
Yeah, it's a very normal thing. It's like another team would call it a walkthrough or something like that. They just get used to the environment and the grass and kind of what we're playing on. Thankfully for us, half of our team had already played on the golf course before. Again, we had two freshmen who had never seen it before, and we walked around with them during their first round to make sure they kind of – we had a little extra session for them going over yardage books and pin sheets and stuff like that.
And they changed the format on you also?
They changed the format as well. Again, we play stroke play throughout most of the year. They changed the format to match play, which is what we play at finals of nationals. But we don't play it very often throughout the year, so it was good to get that experience. It was unexpected, but it was good to get that experience playing in match play because it is very different than playing, again, for a stroke play, you're putting your score up on the scoreboard. When you're playing a match, you're just playing against the one other person in your group. So it's a very different thing that you do playing match play. So I did enjoy it. I just wish we knew a little more going into it.
Exactly.
That we were playing that format.
Is it a different mindset for the players in match play compared to stroke play?
It is. Again, you're when you're playing golf, you're playing basically you against the golf course. You're going out there trying to hit shots to spots and shoot the best score that you can shoot. Your score doesn't really matter as much in match play. As long as you have better scores than the person you're playing against, that's really the only thing that matters. So it's a different form of competition. A lot of our players play a lot of it when they're back home, like in Europe and in Asia. They play a little bit more match play than we play. So my team was excited to have matches. Again, it was just a little surprising.
Unexpected.
A little
surprise.
Yeah.
Matt Roberts tells me that Sarah Hasegawa had a really good weekend there.
She did. She played amazing. In her 3 matches, so out of 54 holes, she only played 43.
Really?
So she closed out one of her matches 3-2, so she was 3 up with 2 holes to go. Her second match, she won 8-7. So she was 8 up with 7 holes to go.
Wow.
And then her last match, she won 3-2 as well.
Wow.
So she, it's really funny. She tells me all the time that she does not like match play. And she's 9-1 at Baylor in match play. So,
What's not to like about
I
that?
I don't know. If you like to win, it sounds pretty good to me.
What is it about her game, anything in particular, that makes her so good in match play?
Yeah, she just doesn't make mistakes. I mean, she hits a lot of fairways, a lot of greens. She doesn't have the big miss. So it's kind of hard to beat somebody if they're always in play, they're always on the green, they're always two-putting or one-putting for birdie
fits her
or par.
game well.
And, I think she just kind of wears her opponents down. They're like, when's she going to make a mistake? Well, she doesn't really make many of them. So.
When's she going to come around and figure out that she should like match play?
Well, hopefully at Nationals this year. That'd be great.
That'd be cool. Very good. All right, so that was in California, and you had the century-like rain out there, but you also went a little stargazing while you were there. You know what I mean?
So
let's take a break, and we'll talk about that when we come back.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Who you saw when you were in California. Oh, man, they are living it the high life in California. So we'll talk about that when we come back. We are live at Rudy's. Thanks to our host at Rudy's. Rudy's is a proud sponsor of Baylor women's golf and men's golf and Baylor athletics in general. Be sure to stop by your local Rudy's or Rudy's.com for some real Texas barbecue. Enjoy 100% oak smoked meats, delicious sides, and Rudy's signature sauce. Don't forget Rudy's serves breakfast tacos every day until 10 a.m. We'll take a break. Be back with Coach Jay Goble talking Baylor women's golf right after this.
Baylor alumni are more than 160,000 strong. When we all join hands to support our university, we don't just move the needle, we move mountains. Working together, we create life-changing opportunities for students on the field, in the classroom, in the laboratory, and in life for generations to come. So get connected. Get involved. Learn how at baylor.edu/alumni.
Premier ER and Urgent Care has all the convenience of urgent care with all the expertise of an ER, all under one roof. At every visit, be seen by ER-trained staff with on-site lab and CT, X-ray, ultrasound, and EKG. Here, you pay for the appropriate level of care that you receive, and we are in-network with most major insurance providers. Premier ER and Urgent Care has 4 convenient locations serving Texas: San Marcos, Temple, Waco, and Woodway. To learn more, visit www.premier.care.
TFNB Your Bank for Life is the official local bank of Baylor Athletics. Find out why more Central Texas are making TFNB their bank for life. Sign up for our Edge checking and savings accounts to earn interest or cash back. With 5 convenient locations and an award-winning mobile app, banking has never been easier. TFNB Your Bank for Life. Member FDIC.
Kids can now join the Baylor Cup Club, presented by Green Eye Associates, the official kids club of Baylor Athletics. Fans 12 and under can register for the low cost of $25 and gain exclusive benefits and access to Baylor Athletics events. Members receive free admission to select events, exclusive giveaway access, and their own membership package. To register your Cub, please visit BaylorBears.com/Cub Club. Sign your Cub up today and sick 'em Bears.
You're listening to the Baylor Coaches Show on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Back on our Baylor Coaches Show live from Rudy's this evening. Rudy's Real Texas Barbecue. Scott Floyd is right back there. Scott, wave a hand, folks. Say thanks to him, our host and chief bottle washer here at Rudy's. Thanks very much to Scott, and we love coming to Rudy's, especially for the Baylor Coaches Show. And continuing with Coach Jay Goble, Baylor women's golf coach. So you're in California. You go to California, and you kind of naturally, don't you, kind of look around and say, well, you know, where do the stars live? Is that so-and-so? But you all had a pretty nice encounter with a couple of big stars.
We did.
With Baylor connections.
We did, absolutely. One of the boosters of our program, Lisa O'Hurley, her maiden name is Meslow. She played on the first women's golf team at Baylor.
That's great.
And her husband is John O'Hurley, who a lot of people would remember from Seinfeld. Yep. He was Jay Peterman.
Right.
But he also does the National Dog Show every year. I was telling you earlier, I think he might be the only guy I know with a better announcer voice than you.
He definitely does.
But we went out to play golf with them before our tournament, and we went to Sherwood Country Club, which beautiful place. It's in Thousand Oaks, California. They film MASH there.
Oh, really?
So yeah, it's supposed to look like Korea, I guess. I don't know, but we're out there on the range, and pretty typical with 18 to 22-year-old young women. They love the Kardashians. And we look over at the range, and we're like, yeah, is that Caitlyn Jenner? Yep. Caitlyn
Jenner is
just
there.
hanging out on the range. So my team, of course, went up and we're talking with Caitlyn Jenner. We got a few selfies
you showed me that,
with Caitlyn Jenner, and it's just normal life out there, I guess.
I guess so. Pretty good connection with Lisa Meslow O'Hurley and her husband John O'Hurley. Y'all had dinner on that Friday night?
We played golf with them, had dinner with them. He's a wonderful storyteller, and just really fun to be around. She grew up in Texas, loves Baylor, obviously went to Baylor. They have a son who's wanting to get in the aeronautical program here at Baylor.
Hope that happens.
So, yeah, I hope that happens too. But they're wonderful people and really cool to hang out with them. And, yeah, we had to leave dinner at 9 o'clock at night to get ready for our 7 o'clock tea time the next day.
With travel involved.
With a lot of – we were on the wrong side of L.A., which it was tough as well.
Wow.
But we had a great time. It's really cool to hang out with them.
Tell everybody about John O'Hurley's, the gist of his story about Ranger, his golf story about Ranger.
He's a great storyteller. He's actually working for a cruise line now doing shows for like these really high-end cruises, Mediterranean cruises, and he was telling me that he has a sponsorship with a golf ball company, and I was just kind of played dumb, like, what are you talking about? He goes, Ranger. I mean, it's a range ball, but I just pronounce it different and say Ranger.
Ranger. Very high-end.
Yeah, it's a very high-end golf ball.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And Lisa has a line of clothing, doesn't she? Athleisure wear?
Yeah, she does. It's actually leisure wear, high-end golf wear called Lola Sport, L-O-L-H-A. So, yeah. So, and it's great. She's actually, her clothing line, she's sponsoring Gurleen Kaur, who played for us on tour. So she's wearing, it's really cool to have that Baylor connection that her and Gurleen have become such good friends. She sponsors two people on the LPGA Tour, Annika Sorenstam and Gurleen Kaur.
Yeah. Wow.
So I think that's
great.
really cool.
That is neat. We need to get them to Waco.
Yeah, I agree.
I told you we saw them in Brooklyn when we were playing basketball up there over Thanksgiving. Yeah, he was there for the dog show, and they came to the Baylor game up there. So that was fun to have them.
They are.
There.
They love Baylor, and John's become a huge Baylor fan by default.
Love it.
Again, we love hanging out with them. They're a lot of fun.
I love it. Let's get them to Waco, and let's get John O'Hurley to host this show at one point. How would that be?
That would be amazing.
Oh, that would be so fun.
Yeah, be a lot of announcer voices going on.
Very fun. Very fun. Okay, let's do this. Let's take a break. When we come back, we got questions from the audience for you.
Awesome.
And we'll look ahead at your upcoming schedule. Plenty to talk about with Jay Goble, Baylor women's golf coach. We'll continue live from Rudy's on the Baylor Coaches Show right after this.
No matter which road you take, the Toyota Tundra is the perfect way to navigate it. On your path, you're your own boss and set your own hours.
Look at that sunrise.
You may find yourself in some pretty remote places.
Whoa, that view. It's amazing.
Or in places where pastimes become stories that become legends.
I got one. It's a keeper. Hey, get a picture. No one's gonna believe this.
And each day ends binge-watching stars and dreaming about all the things you'll do the next day.
You know what? I'm catching a bigger fish tomorrow.
Built to follow your path, the Toyota Tundra. This Texan knows how to sick 'em. Toyota is a proud partner of Baylor Athletics. Visit your local Toyota dealer or Toyota.com to check out the rugged Tundra today. Toyota, let's go places. See packages and options at Toyota.com for feature availability.
Introducing the Sick'em Podcast, a weekly storytelling podcast produced by Sport and Story, the content team behind Baylor Plus.
Hopefully people feel that I was approachable, but also that I knew the game.
Hosted by me, John Morris, the Sick'em Podcast features in-depth interviews with current and former student athletes and coaches.
As a coach, why you coach is to see other people happy and successful.
Subscribe today wherever you get your podcasts. Sick'em Bears.
Are you ready to elevate your Waco experience to a whole new level? Look no further than the Baylor Club, where you can indulge in one-of-a-kind luxury and unwind in our exclusive lounge area. Located in the heart of McLean Stadium, this elite club offers a 5-star member atmosphere for all your work and play needs. With a master culinary team and outstanding hospitality, we take pampering to a whole new level. For interest in membership or to schedule your next private event, call 254-710-8080.
You're listening to the Baylor Coaches Show on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
The Baylor Coaches Show with Coach Jay Goble, Baylor women's golf coach. One event down, very adventuresome trip to California. Wanted to ask you about one that's on the horizon, which has really turned into a huge event. The Darius Rucker Intercollegiate. It's March 4th through the 6th. Hilton Head Island, South Carolina. Y'all have been going there for several years.
Yeah, 7 years in a row now.
Is it? And it's just huge now.
It's great. It is the only women's golf event that's televised on the Golf Channel. That's only women's golf.
Wow.
So the national championship, obviously, men's and women's golf, and there's a few other events throughout the year that are men or men and women.
Yeah.
But the only one that's just women is the Darius Rucker.
How about that?
So it's during our spring break. It's on an awesome golf course. It's called Long Cove. It's a top 20 course in America. We go there. Darius Rucker puts on a concert just for the teams, and it's first class all the way. I mean, you really feel like you're at an elite LPGA or even better, like a major.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it feels like for the teams out there.
How about that?
It's great.
And televised, all 3 rounds televised.
All 3 rounds televised. The last 2 times it's been played, we've been in the final group. We've struggled the last day, but we've been in the final group, so looking to make a nice run there this year.
Man, that is really cool. So that's coming up March 4th through the 6th, Long Cove Club in Hilton Head, South Carolina. We'll watch for that, the Darius Rucker Intercollegiate. I mentioned some questions from our audience for you. You ready for some of these?
Yeah, let's go for it.
All right, let's start right here with Bob Barrett. Bob is right there. Bob says, who is the best putter on this year's team? And then if you want to, he says, who is the –
Well, we won't talk about
Okay, just say who's the best.
We'll keep it positive on here. I would say the best putter on our team, clutch-wise, is probably Britta Snyder. She's played for us for 3.5 years now. I think the bigger the moment, the better she putts, I would say. It's something that if you can make somebody a good putter, they're going to be a great player. I mean, that's kind of the Achilles heel of most people, and one of the harder things that we do in playing college golf is that we play different speed, different grass, different terrain all the time. So I would say Britta probably adjusts better than most people.
Very good. And how are you as a golf coach coaching putting?
I think that I'm okay. It's not my
I bet you're better than that.
Better than average.
I bet you're better than that.
Yeah.
All right. Good question, Bob. Thank you very much. Here's a question. Not sure who it's from. Do you like the Nationals moving from Phoenix? They've been in Greyhawk the last few years, moving to Carlsbad, which is the Omni La Costa Resort in Carlsbad, California.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think one of the really cool things that they've done is they're actually in the process right now of redoing the golf course at La Costa for men's and women's college golf.
Wow.
So the whole intent of redoing the golf course was to make it really great for the national championship. So, and again, for men's and women's golf. I know that we only have a 3-year contract out there to start, but I think they're trying to make it maybe like the Omaha of golf, where we go back there all the time.
Yeah.
I really love Phoenix. We made the national championship all 3 years at Greyhawk and didn't play well. So maybe Greyhawk's not our place. I really enjoyed Phoenix, but I think what they were going for is the primetime television and a little cooler than 100 degrees every day.
Yeah.
So by moving it to Carlsbad, I think they ensure themselves the late, primetime time spot and maybe 70-degree weather instead of 110-degree weather.
That sounds pretty good. Is this May or June?
So it's the men's golf is last week of May.
Okay.
We're the 3rd week of May.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So it was starting to get warm in Phoenix every year. I mean, we didn't have crazy temps,
Right.
but by the time the men got there, it was 105, 508 every day.
I bet.
Yeah.
And the Big 12s this year are where? Houston?
Houston Oaks in Hockley, Texas. We played there 2 years ago and had a great finish in Hockley. We finished second, only maybe a shot or two behind Texas, so we played very solid there. Have a few players on the team right now who were on that team. So, and then Ashleen Kaur has played, a million rounds of golf out there because she's from the area.
Okay.
So feel good about that, and again, we're going to have it actually there at Houston Oaks for the next 2 years.
Okay.
So we're going to be there this year and in 2025.
Oh, good. That's a little different, isn't it?
That's a little different. We were going to have it at Carlton Woods, but they have an LPGA Tour major at the same time now, so they booted us out.
Well, that's not bad.
Yeah,
Houston Oaks, not bad at all.
No, we're glad to go there.
That is April 18th through the 20th for the Big 12s. All right, here is a question from Roy right here. Roy says, over your coaching career, how many countries have you visited?
Yeah, I had to think about that for a minute. I counted them up, and it's at 9 right now, which is nowhere near what my assistant coach Carly has been to probably 30.
Good grief.
I know she's been to every continent except for Antarctica, and I know she's been a lot of places.
Good grief.
So I know 1 year she went to 13 or 15.
In a year?
In 1 year,
wow.
yeah. Before COVID, yeah.
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 Where was the place you said you wouldn't get on a plane to?
I'm not saying I wouldn't get on a plane. I say it's going to be really hard. I want to go to Australia. My family out there, they really want to go to Australia.
Yeah.
It's really hard for me to think about a 20-hour flight.
20 hours, yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know how I'm going to do that.
I'm the same way. We came close a few years ago to playing a football game in Australia.
Oh, really?
Would have been the season opener, has to be, with that kind of travel.
Sure.
And it fell through for whatever reason. But I was really looking forward to it. I've never been to Australia.
No, if you could just transport me to Sydney,
20 hours on a plane.
Yeah, no, I don't know how that's going to work.
All right. Very good. Thank you, Roy, for that question. Bob Barrett is back for another question, and this is good. Other than giving money, how can we support golf? In other sports, we get to scream and yell and release a lot of energy. How can we support golf?
Well, I think that, historically we haven't had as many opportunities to play golf in Texas as we do now. Over the next year, we're going to have 5 or 6 tournaments in Texas, and I think that maybe just people don't know when those events are, but in the month of April, we're playing twice in Texas. I've already started to put our schedule together for next fall and next spring. We're going to be playing in Texas a lot over the next year. I could probably do a better job. We could all probably do a better job of notifying people when those tournaments are, but I can tell you that when my team sees people out there with their Baylor gear on and just clapping for them when they hit a good shot, and just overall being there to support them, it's a big deal for us.
Yeah.
And we don't see it very often because, again, we do travel so much all over the place kind of deal, but there will be some great opportunities to see some really good Baylor golf the next year in the state of Texas, which we'd love to have people come out and watch.
That's it. That's just your presence. Being there. We're in Baylor gear. Yeah.
Just wear your Baylor swag and come out there and clap.
So you've got one coming up in Dallas in early April. That's
Correct.
fairly close.
Yeah, we have, and that's going to be an annual tradition there, too. We're going to play a half stroke play, half match play event at Dallas Athletic Club, which is home of the Big 12 Championship in 2026. So it's a course that we're going to continue to play a lot. And then, again, in Hockley the next 2 years, including this year for the Big 12 Championship, which is only, it's not even 2.5 hours from here.
Yeah.
So it's pretty close.
Very nice. And potentially, and this is way down the road, but potentially a regional.
We
do College Station regional being hosted there.
Yeah, College Station has a regional this year. We actually have a regional at Ridgewood Country Club here in Waco in 2026.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Whoa, that's terrific.
So that's first time we've ever had regionals locally.
Yeah.
So we have that in 2026 in May. So that'll be great too.
Breaking news here.
Yeah,
That's great.
It's awesome.
I had no idea about that. That is really fun.
Yeah, we put in for the bid. It feels like a million years ago.
Right.
But yeah, 2026.
That is so cool. That'd be great. Looking forward to it already. All right, what is, did we talk, is the Darius Rucker next, or do you have something else?
Darius Rucker's next.
Okay.
It's pretty unusual for us to have this long of a break. I think some tournaments have moved around a little bit. We have a very busy March before we go into the Big 12 championship. We play Darius Rucker, Florida State, and then Arizona State back to back to back.
Wow.
So we're going to get a lot of really high-level golf in on some cool tracks against good teams, and I think that's going to get our team ready for the postseason.
That's terrific. Hopefully no more rain during the rounds.
Well, Arizona State, hopefully it won't rain there.
Yeah, all right. Thanks for being here. We really appreciate it, and continued success this spring.
Appreciate it, John. Thank
Jay
you.
Goble, Baylor women's golf coach, our first guest tonight on the Baylor Coaches Show. We will take a break. When we come back, Mike McGraw will join us, Baylor men's golf coach, so we'll continue the golf conversation with Mike McGraw when we come back. We are live at Rudy's on the Circle in Waco, and we'll be right back after this.
Baylor Plus is the home for Baylor basketball fans all season long.
I don't sleep on game days because I'm too excited.
Go behind closed doors and experience Baylor basketball like never before.
I came to coach in top 5 matchups.
We're going to turn the tide on them. Do we got them?
Start your free 7-day trial at BaylorPlus.com and gain instant access to the full library of content.
Premier ER and Urgent Care has all the convenience of urgent care with all the expertise of an ER, all under one roof. At every visit, be seen by ER-trained staff with on-site lab and CT, X-ray, ultrasound, and EKG. Here, you pay for the appropriate level of care that you receive, and we are in-network with most major insurance providers. Premier ER and Urgent Care has 4 convenient locations serving Texas: San Marcos, Temple, Waco, and Woodway. To learn more, visit www.premier.care.
Y'all listen up. Let me tell you something about group meals from Rudy's Barbecue. It's got all you need for all the folks you gotta feed: smoked meat, sides, and more. There's everything down to the tablecloth, just like the one that you see at the store. At a bridal shower, it's better than flowers. And a long distance meeting, it'll pass the hours. It'll feed all the cousins at a family function. It's better than potluck at a church luncheon. Next time you need to feed 10 or more, call and order a Rudy's group meal.
Next in line.
Looking to connect with Baylor alums in your area? Baylor Alumni can help. Looking to host a watch party in your city? Baylor Alumni can get you started. Want to step out in your community and serve with other alums? Baylor Alumni is your connection with the university and each other. Let's get started. Learn how at baylor.edu/alumni.
You're listening to the Baylor Coaches Show on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Bottom of the hour, and folks, join me in welcoming Baylor men's golf coach Mike McGraw, our next guest tonight. Welcome to you.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, it's great to be
here.
here.
Okay?
Yep.
All right. We can adjust if we need.
Well,
we got Bob Baker here.
I'm not hearing anything through here.
Oh, he's not hearing anything through the headsets. All right. We
Through
can
the
fix
headset.
that. Bob's going to work on it, but we thank you for being here. You said you were coming straight from practice, and thanks for making this work.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Look forward to it.
There we go. We're working on it. It'll be good. How has the spring gone so far for you?
Well, it's basically been all qualifying. You know, we've had 8 qualifying rounds. Today was actually the 9th, and we've set our team for our first tournament. So we're heading to Palm Springs tomorrow.
Palm Springs tomorrow. Good timing to have you here tonight.
Oh, yeah.
What's the field look like out there?
Really good. Really good. It's always good there. It's at the PGA West Norman course, so it's good.
And is this a regular for you? You've been out there before, haven't you?
Yes, we were out there last year. It's becoming a regular trip. The guys love the trip so much. Yeah,
I
they
bet.
do. Oh, yeah.
Jay was up here earlier, and they went to California and ran into the
Rain.
flood out there.
I'm hoping we don't get that same.
Right.
I don't want
it has
that.
moved through.
Yes, it has.
Already. So hopefully you have good weather when you're out there. How has the qualifying been? Good competition between your guys?
Yeah, very spirited competition. They had the last kind of sort of playoff for the 5th spot today, and Tyler Eisenhart won that. So, yeah, good competition. Love it.
Who are your 5? Can you say that, or you want to hold that?
Yeah, I can say it. Our 5 are Johnny Kiefer, Luke Dossie, Jonas Appel, Davis Ovard, who's a freshman, and Tyler Eisenhart.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
But good competition, kind of iron sharpens iron, makes everybody better?
Yeah, we've had some pretty good scores. I think Johnny Kiefer shot 9 under. He shot 10 under at Ridgewood one day, so he's having.
Is that right?
Yeah. If his qualifying scores can translate to tournaments, he'll have a great spring.
Is that a 60 at Ridgewood?
That's a 60.
Wow.
New course record.
Yeah. How about that? Well, hope that continues. He's been named, Johnny Kiefer, named one of the 40 players to watch on the Ben Hogan Award list, basically the Heisman Award for men's golf. So he's on the radar nationally, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He's been on the, sort of the radar nationally for quite a while. He's been an All-American twice, an Arnold Palmer Cupper. He's probably going to go down as one of the best players ever at Baylor.
Yeah. Very cool. And you have experience there. You've coached 3 Hogan Award winners?
Yes, sir. Yeah, 3.
Who was that? Oklahoma State?
It was Hunter Mahan, Pablo Martin, and Peter Uline.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very nice. So you know what it takes, and you know
I've
the quality golfer
I've seen it before
to win that award. Very cool. How about the schedule for the spring after this week? What's it look like?
We go to Palm Springs. We're home for about 10 days, and then we go to Cabo, which is sort of a nice trip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then we go to Golf Club of Houston for University of Houston's tournament, which is great. And then we go to the Aggie Invitational, Arizona State's tournament out in Phoenix, and then finally the conference championship at Whispering Pines down in Trinity, Texas.
Oh, yeah. It's a great spot there.
Oh, wonderful.
Everybody here says, yeah, Cabo, we'll go. Yeah. You take anybody along with you on that trip.
Yeah, I mean, I guess a nice donation to get it done, Ben.
Yep, Ben, Coach wants to talk to you as soon as – and Steve, yes, very much. He wants to talk to you after the show.
Yep.
So I hope we didn't step where we shouldn't have with Jay Goble, but he said they're going to host an NCAA regional coming up. It's not till 2026. And you said you guys, for the men, are applying for that also.
We did. Well, we're
put in a bid.
Applying for the 27 and 28 year, hoping to get one of them.
Okay.
But, there's never been a men's regional in Waco.
Yeah.
I think the last collegiate tournament was the Baylor Intercollegiate that Greg Priest used to host out at Bear Ridge. But the last time a championship was hosted was 1993 or 94, the Southwest Conference Championship at Ridgewood.
Yeah. Yep. That is great. So is part of the renovation at Ridgewood, has that allowed you to be in a position to even submit a bid?
Yeah, the golf course is tougher. It's going to be tougher a little bit longer, but certainly firmer greens. And I think the golf course is just going to be a nice test. It's fantastic for women's college golf. It's almost perfect. But for the men, it'll be a little bit short, but, you get a little bit of that spring wind.
Yeah.
And it's going to play very difficult.
Is that the difference when you say it's perfect for women's golf? Is it just the distance?
The distance, yeah. The women, it's more than enough yardage for them. The men, it's not quite enough, but the green complexes are difficult, and the greens will be firm. If you get a little wind, it will play very tough, actually.
So the renovations out there, everything came out
great.
Like you
I love what they did. It's really nice.
That's good.
Yeah.
And Johnny Kiefer shot a 60 out there.
He did shoot 60. Yeah, he shot 60 a year and a half ago on the old course. So
really?
I guess he just likes that number.
Good grief. That is amazing. And that is the course record at Ridgewood. Fantastic. What is your best recorded score out there?
It's not very good. I've shot 9 under par, but not at Ridgewood. So
that's pretty good.
Yeah,
it's very good. All right, good. We got some questions for you from the
Certainly,
audience. All right?
absolutely.
So let's take a break. We'll be back. Questions for Coach Mike McGraw, Baylor men's golf coach. We've got that when we come back. We are live at Rudy's on the Circle in Waco. Rudy's Real Texas Barbecue. We'll be right back with Coach McGraw after this.
Have you gone gold yet? Go gold with Baylor Athletics this season and be the gold factor across each of our sports. Wear exclusive Go Gold apparel from the Baylor bookstore at the upcoming Go Gold dates. To stay up to date on some golden opportunities, visit BaylorBears.com/GoGold. Go Gold and sick 'em Bears.
TFNB Your Bank for Life is the official local bank of Baylor Athletics. Find out why more Central Texas are making TFNB their bank for life. Sign up for our Edge checking and savings accounts to earn interest or cash back. With 5 convenient locations and an award-winning mobile app, banking has never been easier. TFNB, your bank for life. Member FDIC.
Premier Premier ER and Urgent Care has all the convenience of urgent care with all the expertise of an ER, all under one roof. At every visit, be seen by ER-trained staff with on-site lab and CT, X-ray, ultrasound, and EKG. Here, you pay for the appropriate level of care that you receive, and we are in-network with most major insurance providers. Premier ER and Urgent Care has 4 convenient locations serving Texas: San Marcos, Temple, Waco, and Woodway. To learn more, visit www.premier.care.
Y'all listen up. Let me tell you something about group meals from Rudy's Barbecue. It's got all you need for all the folks you gotta feed, smoked meat, sides, and more. There's everything down to the tablecloth, just like the one that you see at the store. At a bridal shower, it's better than flowers. And a long distance meeting, it'll pass the hours. It'll feed all the cousins at a family function. It's better than potluck at a church luncheon. Next time you need to feed 10 or more, call and order a Rudy's group meal.
Next in line.
You're listening to the Baylor Coaches Show on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Welcome you back on the Baylor Coaches Show live from Rudy's on the Circle in Waco. Let's give you our Baylor Scott and White Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics health tip of the week. Don't let pain slow you down. We diagnose and treat sports-related injuries and provide orthopedic services for athletes and non-athletes alike. Visit a Baylor Scott and White Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Specialist and move like you used to. We got Coach's headset working during the break. It wasn't plugged in correctly. So Bob Baker astutely figured out, assessed the issue, and fixed it. So let's give a hand to Bob Baker,
Bob.
our engineer. Thank you, Bob. Plug it in. That was the advice. All right, we've got, before we get to the questions, you're going to California, Palm Springs, now that you can hear me. Going to Palm Springs, Chris Istry is here, and Chris tells me that Scout McNeely will be out there. Tell us about Scout McNeely and his impact.
Scout's impact on the Baylor golf program will never be forgotten. He's one of the greatest individuals you'll ever meet in your life. Yeah, and I created an award in his honor when he graduated in 22, the Scout McNeely Award, which I think is the most it's going to be the most important, prestigious award a Baylor golfer can win. Wow. And Luke Dossey won it last year, and all the guys are hoping to get that this year. But Scout was just a tremendous human being. He played injured his whole career here at Baylor, but made incredible relationships that will last for a lifetime. And Scout's fantastic. And we actually stay in Scout's house in Palm Springs.
Wow.
It's big enough to host all 13 of us. So
nice house.
It's a nice house.
What was it about him and his time here at Baylor that left such a living legacy?
Well, just the way he treated people and the way he handled his adversity that he had. You never would have known it. He never ever, woe is me. That was not part of what he did. It was incredibly funny, unbelievably smart. I always know that when I recruit a guy who's got a higher IQ than I do, Scout had that. But just a wonderful human being. And Scout became a Christian at Baylor on our campus and was baptized the evening of the last day of the conference championship that year. And I just thought that was wonderful. He's living his life for the Lord, and he's on fire for the Lord, and he's just such a great guy. And I promise you, when I announced the team that we were going to have the Scout McNeely Award and I showed the award, 2 or 3 guys cried.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how much Scout meant to them.
Golly, what a great story.
Yeah, he's unbelievable.
Talk about preparing champions for life. That's a great example of that.
Thank you.
Well, that'd be fun. Tell him hello for us.
We'll do it.
In California. We got questions from the audience. It's our First Place Foods Ask the Coach. First Place Foods, that's a darn good pickle. First question is from Bob Barrett. Bob is right there. Is there a story behind how you recruited a player from Mexico?
Well, that player from Mexico, Patricio Gonzalez, recruited me. and I told him definitively no 5 times over a 2.5-year period. And he's the first international player that I've recruited at Baylor in 10 years. But he's closer to Waco than 2 of my guys, or 3 of my guys on the team, California and Indiana and Illinois. He's from Monterey. It's not very far from here at all. Wonderful kid. He basically browbeat me for 2.5 years, and finally I watched him play a tournament in Dallas, and it was a bogey-free 65 the day I saw it. Wow. So I thought, okay, he can probably come here, and he wanted to. He wanted the opportunity pretty badly, and so I didn't do the recruiting. Pretty much, he recruited me.
Wow. So if anybody's watching or listening, they want to come to Baylor, they need to just stay on you.
Well, but they have to be able to shoot 65.
And shoot 65, right?
Come on.
Ba-dum-bum. Very good. Ben Hagans has a question. Of course Ben does on a golf show. How does this NIL pertain to the golf team?
It's not going to be nearly the impact of basketball or football or any of that. But we have 3 guys that have NIL deals on our team currently. Any sort of NIL work that I'm going to do is not going to be to out-recruit somebody else. You can't use it for that. It's not going to be to entice somebody to come to school. I would hope that it would just honor and reward the guys that we have currently on the team that are in the trenches. That's, to me, I've never been a huge fan of NIL. I've been very vocal about that, but I see nothing wrong with the kid if on his own name, image, and likeness getting some sort of benefit from it. So, but I'm not using it as a – unfortunately, it's brought some darker side to college golf as well, as people have tampered with rosters by using NIL money. So, but I don't think it's going to be huge in golf, but it'll affect a few guys.
I got you. Very good. Thanks, Ben. Good question. Here's a question from John Jackson right here. How do you interact with your players during a competitive round? Great question.
That's a very good question. In general, through the years, I've picked one player to walk with for 18 holes. And I like to see from the moment they get the scorecard until they sign the scorecard 5.5 hours later, every decision they make, how they handle the good things, how they handle the bad things, how they handle adversity, decisions they make. You learn a lot about a player. I might walk with a player who's struggling. I might walk with a freshman playing in his first tournament. I might walk with somebody who's near the lead or in the lead, never been there before, to try to keep them comfortable. But I want to learn as much about a player as I can. I've tried bouncing around, and occasionally the guys are okay with that, you know, bouncing around from hole to hole or whatever. But I've enjoyed walking with one player. You really get to know them. You get to know their personality, but you get to know how they think under pressure. And that helps you coach them in the long run, I think, a lot better.
That's great. Great question. Are there some guys, their personality or their demeanor, they benefit more by you being with them?
There are some. There are some that never wanted me to walk with them at all, and I totally understood that. It's not about me. It's about what we can get the best result for them. But most of the time, a player understands having a coach there to help keep them calm when the world is crashing down around them is probably a good thing, like a 15th club in the bag. And if you know how to speak to a guy, and my personality is not for everybody, so if you can relate to him or he can relate to your personality, it's probably an advantage.
Yeah, very cool. Great question, John. Thank you. It's a question from Steve Van Wagner right here. How many times did you win the national championship at your previous school, one of your previous schools?
Well, I won 2 national championships at Oklahoma State, and then when I got let go at Oklahoma State, we played Oklahoma State in the finals the next year when I was at Alabama, and we won that one as well. So that was kind of a bittersweet day. I literally cried for the Oklahoma State guys because I loved them so much, and they were all my players. But I love the Alabama kids we were coaching at the time.
Very nice. This question is so good. We ask it for Jay and now for you.
Okay.
Other than giving money, which is great, how can we support golf in other sports? You go bonkers, you scream, you go crazy. What's a way that they can support you and your program?
I think Jay said it best when, you know, they just see the green and gold, and they don't get to see that very often. When they do see it in the gallery, they love it. We play in Texas quite a little bit, too. We played in Texas twice in the fall. We're going to be playing at the Aggie Invitational, Conference Championship, and the Golf Club of Houston. So we'll play there 3 times this spring. And so every year we play 5 to 6 times in the state of Texas. So you can get to us pretty easily. Matt Roberts, our sports information director, does a fantastic job of getting videos and photos. So you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram pretty easily. But in person, you can follow in Texas quite often, and our guys love it.
Just be in there, support, wear green and gold.
I think so.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. All right, final question. It's from somebody in the room named Jay. He says, how many 7-irons have you hit with the set of clubs in your office?
Yeah, that's good.
That's good.
I've got a set of Ping irons that are virtually in mint condition if anybody needs a new set of golf clubs. But one day, out of nowhere, I went on the driving range at our facility at the Billy, and I hit 41 7-irons, and I was striping every one of them was perfect. Wow. But so I retired right then. So. But the other clubs are completely pristine. So you'd have to
Good grief.
Oh, good grief.
That's a golf drop the mic moment, right?
That was Jay Goble, I'm sure, who said that.
I think it was.
Jay invites me to play golf at least once a week, and I once a week turn him down. So, sorry, Jay.
Very good. Let's take a break. When we come back, talk about the Billy and the facility you have there is just great, how it supports, our student athletes and your program and Jay's program. We'll talk about that and wrap things up on the Baylor Coaches Show, so stay with us. We'll be right back in a moment. We're brought to you in part by TFNB, your bank for life, the official local bank of Baylor Athletics. Find out why more Central Texans are making TFNB their bank for life by stopping by any one of their 5 locations or visiting tfnbtx.com and Sick'em Bears. And we'll be back right after this.
No matter which road you take, the Toyota Tundra is the perfect way to navigate it. On your path, you're your own boss and set your own hours.
Look at that sunrise.
You may find yourself in some pretty remote places.
Whoa, that view. It's amazing.
Or in places where pastimes become stories that become legends.
I got one. It's a keeper. Hey, get a picture. No one's gonna believe this.
And each day ends binge-watching stars and dreaming about all the things you'll do the next day.
You know what? I'm catching a bigger fish tomorrow.
Built to follow your path, the Toyota Tundra. This Texan knows how to sick 'em. Toyota is a proud partner of Baylor Athletics. Visit your local Toyota dealer or Toyota.com to check out the rugged Tundra today. Toyota, let's go places. See packages and options at Toyota.com for feature availability.
For a limited time, get high-performance, ultra-reliable internet from Astound Broadband, starting as low as $25 per month. And now we have mobile, too. Visit astound.com to order the #1 rated internet. Create the perfect plan with fast speeds to meet all your needs. Plus, get a 2-year price lock when you upgrade to award-winning gig internet. No contracts, no hidden monthly fees, and no data caps. Switch today. Head to astound.com or call 1-800-4ASTOUND. Restrictions apply. See website for details.
Y'all listen up. Let me tell you something about group meals from Rudy's Barbecue. It's got all you need for all the folks you gotta feed. Smoked meat side.
Okay.
There's everything down to the tablecloth, just like the one that you see at the store. And a bright
Sounds good.
It's better than flowers. And a long distance meeting that'll pass the hours. It'll feed all the cousins at a family function. It's better than potluck at a church luncheon. Next time you need to feed 10 or more, call and order a Rudy's group meal.
Next in line.
You're listening to the Baylor Coaches Show on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Baylor men's golf coach, final segment with Coach McGraw tonight here at Rudy's. And again, thanks to everyone for being here tonight. Thanks to those of you that are watching the live stream. It'll be archived. You can go home and watch it again and see Coach McGraw again. Baylor Athletics Facebook and YouTube pages. And it's on our flagship station in Waco. Want to mention also your staff. You've got such a great staff. Baylor Hall of Famer Jeremy Alcorn is here, and former MCC golfer Corey Donnell is part of your staff. I mean, you've got a great staff, don't you?
Well, I've been blessed at Baylor with Ryan Blag as an assistant. He's amazing. He's now at Louisville with Mikkel Berg-Andreessen, who was off the charts good, and then to hire 2 this year that one a Baylor Hall of Famer and the other had a Waco connection through MCC, and they are so good. And, as I get older, I need to make sure I keep hiring younger because you forget what it's like to be a college kid. It's not, it's a long time ago.
Yeah. I think that goes both ways because those guys are benefiting by working with you also.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, very much so. You've got an event coming up March 8th. It's the Curtis Handcammer Classic at the Golf Club in Houston. This is your big benefit every year, isn't it?
It's a fundraiser we do that helps us do a lot of other things we wouldn't normally be able to do that aren't in the budget. But it's on a Friday this year for the first time in a long time. It's an afternoon shotgun, so we're going to get a better turnout because people can kind of extend their weekend.
Yeah.
We've had it on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and not getting as good a turnouts, but I think it'll be great. We really look forward to it, and our guys get to play in the event.
Okay.
And so the donors, the people that support Baylor Golf get to actually be on a golf course playing with the collegiate athletes.
Yeah. And if someone's interested in maybe playing or contributing, how could they?
They can go to our website, and Matt Roberts has been posting it every week with links to click on and actually do it. It's pretty easy, actually.
Yeah. All right, very good. And we mentioned the Billy, your home facility here, which is just terrific. Anything new there to tell us about, or new and improved at the Billy?
We're going to start ice baths here before long. We've got this big tub, and we're going to I don't think I'm going to do it, but the guys have been asking for it for a long time.
Yeah.
And Izzy, our trainer, thinks it's going to be fantastic for them.
Great.
So, but anyway, and we overseeded just fairways, greens, and green surrounds this year, and the main tee. So it's a beautiful contrast of a beautiful ryegrass with the dormant Bermuda to the side and the rough. It's gorgeous.
It's beautiful.
In great shape, and the greens are absolutely flawless right now.
Love it.
Yeah.
Very good. You don't have any regular students trying to just walk on and hit some golf balls anymore, do you?
Good enough fence and a locked gate, so they probably won't get in there.
Hadn't always been the case.
No, it hasn't.
Well, we appreciate you being here. Good luck this week in Palm Springs. Safe travels out there. Hope the rain holds off. Should be great. But we really appreciate you being with us. We'll have you back in the spring.
Thank you,
A little
John.
bit later.
Appreciate it very much.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Mike McGraw, Baylor men's golf coach. We'll take a break, come back, and wrap things up on the Baylor Coaches Show right after this.
Join us.
All right, should be about 90 seconds.
Texas Sports Hall of Fame in Waco for our next Lunch with a Legend, presented by Baylor Alumni Sports Outreach. Our special guest will be former Baylor and Texas Rangers pitcher Sean Tollison. It's Thursday, February 22nd, beginning at 11:30 a.m. at the Texas Sports Hall of Fame, and tickets are available by calling 254-710-8300, presented by Baylor Alumni Sports Outreach.
Y'all listen up. Let me tell you something about group meals from Rudy's Barbecue. It's got all you need for all the folks you gotta feed, smoked meat, sides, and more. There's everything down to the tablecloth, just like the one that you see at the store. At a bridal shower, it's better than flowers. And a long business meeting, it'll pass the hours. It'll feed all the cousins at a family function. It's better than potluck at a church luncheon. Next time you need to feed 10 or more, call and order a Rudy's group meal.
Next in line.
Premier ER and Urgent Care has all the convenience of urgent care with all the expertise of an ER, all under one roof. At every visit, be seen by ER-trained staff with on-site lab and CT, X-ray, ultrasound, and
I was about to tip off.
appropriate level of care that you receive.
Yeah, she needs 8 points. She's had one game in her career with less than 15.
4 convenient locations serve
Yeah, she'll get it in the first quarter.
and Woodway. To learn more,
3 threes in the first quarter and be done with it.
.care.
Yeah, she's been below 10 points once in her career.
The Baylor Sports app allows.
And that was 8, and the second lowest was 15. Yeah.
Wants to reward the most loyal fans, so register online today at BaylorBoldRewards.com.
All right, here we go. I'll count you down.
Download the Baylor Sports app straight to your phone. Prizes this year are better than ever, so start earning your points today. And sick 'em Bears.
You're listening to the Baylor Coaches Show on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Time to wrap things up on our Baylor Coaches Show tonight. Great guests tonight. Great fans of Baylor golf and Baylor athletics here at Rudy's, and we appreciate our host at Rudy's as always. Thanks to Jay Goble and Mike McGraw for being with us. Next week, going from memory, next Thursday, Felicia Mulkey will join us, Baylor Acrobatics and Tumbling head coach, and Nikki Collin will be with us next week as well. So that's our next Baylor Coaches Show next Thursday, same bat time, same bat channel. Baylor basketball in action this weekend. The men headed to West Virginia. The women host Texas Tech Sunday afternoon at 3. That will be the Brittany Griner jersey retirement game. So a lot going on around that game on Sunday afternoon at 3. Softball on the road in Louisiana. Baseball opening their season at Globe Life Field. They play Nebraska tomorrow, Oregon on Saturday, and Tennessee coming up on Sunday. That's our show for tonight. We appreciate you being with us. For now, good night from Rudy's.